Hello, everyone. Wave. Welcome. We did it, Reddit. Welcome, everyone, to episode 10 of the Drafters, Our Blades in the Dark campaign. But this is not my game. I'm just sitting here playing and looking pretty. So, we're going to let everyone go around the table and introduce themselves and their characters. And, of course, our wonderful storyteller, Theater Nerd, has to start us off with a question.
Oh yeah. Hi. My name is Theater. Um there's just a couple more weeks of this and a couple more weeks of something else, and then you won't see my pretty face on the internet unless I take a selfie and put it
No!
on here. Fun fact. But today I would like to know if your characters were being scoundrels, what would they want to be?
They weren't scoundrels. Ooh.
Alright, okay. I get you. I feel you. Alright, go ahead, Sahara, and continue us on, fam.
Hi, I'm Sahara. Recently realized I'm a hopeless romantic after listening to Girl in Red for the first time. And I play Cecilia, and if she wasn't a scoundrel, Cecilia probably would just, I don't know, I think she might just run a bookstore or something.
Yes, books.
Alright, Jim Jams.
Books.
Uh, I am Jamie. I'm playing Patches or Patrick, and he is our spider. And I think that if he wasn't a scoundrel, he would probably love career in interior design. He'd be all about feng shui.
Alright.
Sway or feng swag?
I mean, if you're into like the '70s, like shag carpet, maybe
Nice.
feng shag.
For our viewers over the pond in the United Kingdom, shag means something different here.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, Silence in the game, so he knows exactly what shag means. Alright.
Hey, my name is Jason. I am playing Dr. Biscuits, and that's the funny thing is that Dr. Biscuits doesn't really think of themselves as a scoundrel. Like, the only thing that would be vaguely scoundrelly about them is that they are a disgraced scientist. And if nobody knew they were disgraced, then they would just be doing the exact same things they're already doing, and thus they probably wouldn't be considered a scoundrel, but they still would be considered a public menace.
Alright. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Rosie, or Valdrian, here on the internet. This is my channel. Today I'll be bringing you Royce Chambers, our resident hound. If he was not a scoundrel, he would be going to school to become a veterinarian.
She's not for an author, not to become
The
an
only
author?
reason he's an author is because he's a scoundrel.
He's an author because he wants in the book club.
Yeah, and you would have figured any of this out if he wasn't a scoundrel. So, yeah, that's how his life has led him. So, hey guys, what up? We are a viewer-affected game. You can affect the game with your bits, subs, and direct donations. For every 100 biddies that you give to everyone here, anyone here that you see on the table, you can give us a reroll to one of our dices. If you want to subscribe to the channel or gift subs, you can give us an autocritical so that way we can convince demons to leave us the fuck alone. If you want to give straight up money, $10 or more through Streamlabs, or coffee, you can have a minor plot hook at the storyteller's discretion. So that is something that can happen here on this channel. I don't think we've had too much happen specifically. German has done a couple of things for this, but this isn't the craziest donation place. But you know, you can change that today. We only got 3 episodes left, so let's jump into it. Take us away, theater nerd.
Cool. So we're actually not gonna start with you all.
Hmm.
We're going to zoom out and back into whatever I named the gambling den. I'm sure it had a cool name because I'm the best at names. Um, oh yeah, yep, totally the best. It's the Bald Goose. And you're gonna see your friend Corin. Sorry, named characters too similarly named. So you see Conan, sitting with kind of a couple of the people that seem to be on his side, and he's got a big map of the city out, and there's a couple of imagine like an old school like medieval, or I guess really any military movie where they've got the little figures on a map. Just imagine that this is happening. And there's a couple of like house looking ones that seem to be along the river as you kind of look at it from above. And there's like he's drawing arrows on the map, or he's using other pieces of paper to put routes on the map. And then there's some talking going on amongst them, and then he just gets angry, and just you see him like push everything off of the table, like all the figures. And with that, we kind of zoom out of the Bald Goose, and we zoom back into the safe house. And what are y'all doing right now? Royce just got roughed up by the blue coats.
Got away from the bluecoats as well. Like, he didn't really get roughed up. He got like talked
Accosted, I guess.
to. He got a talking to, but for somehow he like swapped the shit away out of that. Like, he's like, bitches, I'm buying you ice cream. Like,
Just now remember the health
this is a
interaction.
commodity right now. That's what Royce did. Yeah.
Everybody loves ice cream.
It's true. Especially, I'm assuming it's like not the cheapest treat in Dusk Bowl. So
No, that's shit. If you've ever made like actual ice cream, like rolling cream in a bucket with salt and stuff, that shit takes forever. And they maybe have a steam powered one where they don't have to do the stirring themselves, but you still gotta make sure the thing has steam. So
yeah.
In the summer, even even one with all the technology we have would take at least 20 hours.
shit ain't cheap.
All right.
Mhm.
Fuck the
So-
buckets.
You guys kind of have free reign to do what you would like. I don't know if anyone has a plan for anything.
See if
You
we
know
have
the
any
blue
clocks
coats.
going.
The blue coats are on your guys' tails still.
I feel like Ilya would be worried for Royce while pretending to not be worried.
It's good because Royce isn't worried. Royce thinks what happened was a fucking success for him. So, like, someone's got to worry about this child. Because he's not.
I would probably be sending to everyone's equipment. I actually thought about this earlier. I'd probably be making sure that we all have like bullets and knives, and our gear is, ready to go in case we do get a job anytime soon, or in case anything were to happen where we would need our gear in like a kind of bug out situation.
You want to know why Royce isn't fucking worried? He's over at Costa's house because there's baby otters.
Oh yeah, I do think we ended it on baby otters, didn't we?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, the birthing.
Yeah, that's essentially what's happening.
Never mind, I would be with the baby otters.
Weapon
I'll do that other stuff later.
otters.
I'll do that other
Uncle
stuff the next
Patches.
day.
Uncle
Uncle
Patches.
Patches.
Well, I mean, come on, you ought to know.
Otter, no.
Oh man.
Okay, got Alanis Morissette stuck in my head now.
She's from
Cool.
Canada.
Yup, I'm aware. Canada has all the cool shit. Anyway,
Not tonight.
I am thoroughly distracted. So, baby otters. Costa probably brings you into the room where she's kind of built a den. Or rather, Betty's built the den, but the space for Betty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're grandparents now, bro.
Oh, they're so cute. Look at them. They're like little golden retriever babies.
What's it
Mm.
go?
They're little blind sausages.
Little blind sausages. So there's sort of this running joke that baby golden retrievers look like otters, so I just sort of reversed it.
Oh, really?
Like, if you've ever seen like golden retriever puppies, they look like otters.
Parents have a golden retriever puppy right now. It's not that tiny.
I'm gonna take
It's
it.
actually huge, considering how old it is. They're massive.
Yeah. I've had several in my life. But yeah, no, so like, whatever is going on with the Blue Coats, whatever job is going on, who cares? Because Royce is just, he looks over at Patches and is like, we need to get cigars.
Yeah, that's weird.
I have a bottle of fine alcohol, or fine whiskey, but I don't have any cigars.
That works. That's fine. Make
Make a
Like,
toast to
yeah, make a
baby
toast.
otters.
You do know that if you wanted to get some, there's that bazaar that you met that you went. I think it was Royce went, or maybe it was Dr. Biscuits. I don't remember. Where you got bits and bobs for Ilya's dart gun. Someone down there is bound to have some, or there probably are some like nicer cigar shops in nicer districts of town. If you really want your cigars.
cigars and fine spirits. I think that's all right. I'm gonna go get us some cigars and spirits. Be right back.
I could certainly supply us with imprimables that will definitely bring on an altered state of consciousness.
Costa,
Pass. Hard pass on that, bro.
I don't.
Costa just gives you this look of like, I'm never consuming anything from you ever.
But I think you should do it. And then if it looks like fun, maybe I'll try it.
Like,
Oh?
No.
So Royce, cigars.
Yeah. Yeah. Royce is gonna leave everyone who's apparently followed him here and caught up to go buy cigars for everyone here, including Buddy. Like, just see if
I'll allow it.
hopefully there's like an otter-sized cigar, like, and like going to the cigar shop just explains that my otter and his girlfriend just had a litter of otters, so I need an otter-sized cigar for my otter dad.
You just get this look from whatever the title for a person who sells cigars. I just imagine
Tobacconist.
I'm just imagining there being a fancy term. I don't smoke cigars.
Tobacconist.
Cool. And I I make one size of cigar, or I purchase one size of cigar.
Well, how about this? Can I purchase wrappers from you and tobacco by itself and roll it like an otter-sized one myself?
I mean, I can give you cigarette rolling paper and cigarette tobacco.
I'm gonna put the cigar tobacco in the cigarette paper. Is it different? Is there a difference between cigar tobacco and cigarette tobacco?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I don't know that otters can smoke cigars.
You
Anyway.
don't know my otter.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't know this otter.
You're not.
I'm not there, though.
You don't know my otter. He can legit. You know what? I'll just cut it in half. Okay.
Like, you get this feeling that, like, he's, like, offended, like you've, like, stabbed him in the heart by suggesting wrapping cigar tobacco in cigarette paper. So he'll sell you them. It's a negligible amount of money to do so.
Okay.
Nothing that you don't have in pocket change.
Right. Yeah. And so.
And he hands them over. He surreptitiously, like, slides some cigarette paper, like, off of the counter so that you don't try to make out with any. Actually, he probably very obviously does this in front of you. Like, no, your otter deserves better. And
Only the best.
It's his first litter. It's his first time being a dad. Of course he deserves better.
he deserves a real cigar. And if there isn't anything else I can help you with, or any other questions I can answer, you've got a cigar cutter and all the other necessary tools.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, fam. Pay the man and head back to Costa's house. I don't know what's going on there while I was getting cigars, but that's what I'm doing.
So we'll pan
That's
back
fawning over otters and
to
discussion.
Costa and Betty and everyone else. Betty is, like, probably still, like, cleaning off the baby otters and, like, being motherly towards them until she, like, passes out from being exhausted from having baby otters. And what are you guys doing? Are you having a conversation with Costa? Or anything?
I would just maybe just, have small talk with her, but other than that, unless she brings up anything specific that might pique my interest, like having to do with, our troubles that we've had, and stuff like that. I don't know if she's had any trouble from the blue coats or anything lately. But
Why don't you gather information? Let's see how much Costa knows about all of this stuffs.
would that be consort?
You could definitely roll a consort. That seems appropriate.
Right. Let's see. Do I get anything special with this? I can push myself to gather information or work on when I. Okay. Yeah, I can push myself when I gather information or work on a long-term project because I have the mastermind
Okay.
ability. So I'll take a stress. Is it 1 or 2 stress? to push
I believe
yourself?
it's 2 stress to push yourself.
So I'll go up to 4 stress, and I'll get a bonus die on my find information.
Nice.
So you got a 6. So.
She always was a chatterbox.
So, um, you know, Patches, that she works pretty close with the Blue Coats, and and she's getting the feeling that they're on the trail of a group of individuals, and yeah, I heard they had names wrong, but I think they're like going pretty deep on you guys. Like you need to be careful. You need to be careful as to what you are getting yourselves into. Like they
I
don't.
appreciate the concern.
Um, just so you know, you can go ahead and ask any clarifying questions on this information from her. Um, and like they're the head of the Bluecoats, and she'll drop the name that I have to look up. Sorry, I should have had this.
This kind of lines up with what we've been learning,
Yep.
or what we found out from a couple of other things.
Commander Selland. It's Cleland. And he seems to have they seem to be going after you and anyone you guys might consort with. I hear in the next little bit.
Said he was a commander.
Yes, that's the official title
Oh.
for. And you've probably heard the name.
Well, we certainly don't want to get his attention. So perhaps it is best if we steer clear of the Blue Coats for the time.
One other thing that you would know just from knowing, that is of interest to you guys right now, is that they are allies of the Billhooks. And you don't necessarily know what side they are on in terms of anti or sun, for that whole thing. But you could probably, Patches is smart enough to probably figure that that's where some of this heat is coming from for you guys. In terms of like why they seem to be going so hard on you guys.
Do we know if they have any other allies other than the Billhooks, or like that are on like the more criminal side of things? Even though I know they themselves are pretty underhanded.
Let's take a look. You know, they are pretty corrupt. In terms of like how they get their, like how they do business. And you know, they also.
That's just too much, Phil. This is
Sorry. You've probably heard of the Crows, who are another gang. And probably also have heard of Lord Gerlach.
That's a fancy name, Skurlock. All right.
Skurlock's a big name.
So those are loosely associated with the Bluecoats.
Fresh.
Maybe we could maybe we could align ourselves with them and get some insider information, or even like turn some enemies into friends. I don't know, just an idea. Just kind of thinking out loud. Maybe I'm not saying this to Costa, but this is what I'm kind of thinking, and maybe I say this to the party when we get back to the when we're done hanging out with the otter babies. I mean, if Costa's trustworthy, and I feel like she is, then I might even just bring it up there. But
I would say that out of all of our allies, Costa is probably the most trustworthy of them all.
yeah, she's taking a hit or two for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
She's much more invested in you guys than most of your other contacts.
Well, then it's probably worth, letting her in on what we plan to potentially do. And I mean, these are just ideas I'm bouncing off people. I'm not trying to. So I just think that if our ultimate plan is to maybe like undermine the Bluecoats, then maybe we should pull some strings with their allies.
I think Costa just finishes telling Patches what she knows about the Bluecoats and the information about what she knows about their allies. When Royce, are you running back in with the cigars? How do you make your appearance?
I don't bust in the door, but I'm very excited about coming back, and I have a cigar for everybody here. So
You should Kramer on in, where he slides.
oh my god, I haven't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I know who Kramer is, but I just don't know anything about the show to know what this slide is. First of all, is this Seinfeld Kramer, or is this?
Yeah, that's the only one I know.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the actual show Kramer with...
Put Kramer in your coffee sometimes.
I put Kramer in my coffee all the time.
Out here, we put Kramer.
Kramer in my coffee.
Okay,
Yeah.
this show is now in Boston.
Alright.
What, Duskwall is it Boston? I thought
So,
Anyway. Yeah, come on in, just open up and hand out. Ilya, you came. You followed along too, right?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Just hands it to everyone, and even to Buddy. And it's all right, light up, fam. Our little group has gotten bigger. Ooh,
Sorry about that.
my jam.
it's okay.
Most fun you can press down volume to mute them.
All right. So, light up cigars and pass them around to everyone to celebrate, and hopefully Patch has got his fine spirits to celebrate with.
No idea where he got it, but Dr. Biscuits has one of those really long cigarette holders you saw in 60s and 70s soap operas for women, and somehow the cigar is on that, even though it's a cigarette holder.
You have a...
No. Sorry, Biscuits has rigged it up for cigars.
Exactly.
Has an adjustable end piece.
Yeah, cranks. But that seems steamy funky. Well,
Love it.
What is in this, Royce?
I mean, I went to the best shop that I could find. Tobacco is in it?
This stuff is not safe!
It's tobacco. Of course it's not safe. But you do bad things to celebrate good things with, right? Like, that's.
Never thought about it like that.
I mean,
But you're right.
'cause
I mean-
bad things are fun. Are you not having fun with biscuits? If you don't want it, I'll take it back.
Royce, think about it for a moment. Think about who is saying it's not safe. It's biscuits.
So, like, I feel like Biscuits, Ilya, has, like, this thing, like, it's not that I don't...
He is a
I don't
doctor.
trust his... I don't
He's
trust
morally
his judgment.
obligated to tell us it's unhealthy.
Yeah, we're aware. Just, you know. Thanks, Doc. It's gross. Congratulations, buddy, on being a dad. Wash it down with whiskey.
It's gonna hold mine, not actually. It smells nice. Hooray. Put it in
You
a box.
see,
Keep it
like,
later.
Costa, like, lift up what's essentially, like, a tumbler that you're all drinking whiskey out.
Mm-hmm.
And she, like, looks each and every one of you in the eye. And she goes, to family, blood or not, I've got your back as much as I can. And I swear to God, Royce, you do something stupid.
This is Royce. You are talking.
I would like to point out I don't do anything stupid on purpose, thank you.
Most people don't. Anyway, cheers.
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 Yeah.
And you see her, like, just down the, like, finger or two that's in the glass, like, just in one drink.
Dr. Biscuits pulls something out of his pocket, unwraps it, and there's a small lump of something that is glowing purple. Like, this should deal with the cough. Pops in his mouth.
Alright, well, I think we essentially party into the night. Is that what my understanding is in celebration before we all go home?
I mean, Costa isn't going to kick you out unless you get rowdy. So,
Yeah, I mean, these are my closest people.
she maybe, like, takes the party outside of the den room,
Mm-hmm.
or the whelping box room.
Yeah, of course.
Give Betty and the kids some rest.
Of
Maybe
course.
not smoking in the room with the
With the baby
newborn
on it.
otters.
I mean,
don't know.
obviously.
Okay, yeah. But I guess that was implied.
Alright, well.
Fast forward to the next morning.
Oh man, I was gonna see if we were gonna play Truth or Dare, but alright.
Oh, if you wanted to do, I guess I should have asked if there was anything else you wanted to do.
No, it's good. Let's go to the next morning. I'm down.
I'm interested in what kinds of truth or dares Royce will come up with.
Okay, well
Let's
then,
do it.
Okay,
Let's do this.
Let's play
Or
Truth
never
Dare.
have I ever.
Never have I ever. That is a good one. That's a good one. Alright. Guess I'll go first.
Starting with 3 fingers. Or what?
5. We'll just play with 5 or 3.
5,
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Let's do
We go
5.
faster if we do 3.
Yeah, we'll do
Okay.
3. We don't have to go faster. Like, alright, we'll do 3.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It just depends on
Do
how
it
Alright,
as long as
so-
you want.
Never have I ever seen a cow.
Wait, are you talking cow? Do you mean animal?
Yes! Royce has never seen a cow.
I've probably seen a cow.
Ilya, go.
Never have I ever. Never have I ever had anything fancy.
Costa puts down a finger.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Y'all are gunning for me.
What are your next patches?
Never have I ever drank scotch out of a wooden cup. I was trying to think of something relatable in this time period.
I drink out of pewter, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done that either. All right.
Well, good. You shouldn't.
All right.
It's disgusting.
Okay.
Use glass every
Yeah.
time.
Biscuit?
Never have I ever installed a prosthetic limb on a person that's lasted more than 1 month.
Probably specific.
That's a high failure. Cool. My turn.
Okay.
Never have I ever been accosted by bluecoats.
What does accosted mean?
Talked to in an aggressive manner.
Do they have to be at work for this?
Oh, once a blue coat, always a blue coat.
They pretty
Yeah,
much
no.
leave me alone.
Besides, they won't hesitate to say, hey, you need to respect our authority, no matter what time of day it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talk to them, but it's usually in a business sense. They want me to go hunt someone or something down.
Oh,
Oh, faster is
it's
awesome.
yeah. They can get rowdy when they're drunk.
Yeah.
Most people can, Royce.
Never have I ever been kissed by a girl that's not my mom.
Costa puts down a finger.
Ilya puts down a finger.
My hairdresser count.
It's not your mom. Is your hairdresser your mom?
I remember that he shaves his head. He just balls his head. He doesn't have a hairdresser. It was a joke, I guess. But I didn't think about it.
Did Ilya win? Or she still has one up? Oh, man! Once
Take a shot.
again, she has proven to be the most experienced out of all of us. Take a shot of LaCroix.
Probably.
Okay. So if she's out, does that mean that she doesn't get to pull one on us?
I don't
I-
know what's at stake here.
Sobriety.
I mean, I figured we could just call it a game now, and
yeah. So all right. I get you. It's time
So
for us.
competitive, Royce.
We have to get out. It's bedtime. For the baby otters. Come on, buddy. Leave your girlfriend and your children alone, so that they can sleep. She doesn't want to see you right now. We gotta go back home.
I think you see Betty, like, she sneaks out of the whelping box,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually look back at Buddy, and they're, like, standing on their hind legs holding hands.
That's so fucking cute.
Um,
Oh. That's really cute. Well, okay. Well, you can stay here. Just by the time we have a job, just remember to see me. And I'm gonna like kind of stumble slightly out of Claus's house, giving her a high five before I leave to go home.
except for I imagine, like, you both have been drinking, so it's,
Yeah.
like, half a high five, like, you just, like,
Yep.
swing and miss a couple of times, and then, like, make not very good contact, and then, like, call it a night.
Yep, that's about it. Yep, that sounds about right.
Night, bro.
Night, sis. Is
Why do you have-
Dr. Bistich trying to high five himself? I'm so
Clearly.
just like it's like why is Dr. Biscuits applauding?
I think Costa, like, mumbles at one point, why do you have three hands on your arm, Royce.
What?
I see
Uh,
3 hands.
You're not
You're
supposed
drunk.
to be able to see that. Hush. And I'll like put a pillow in front of Royce. Like, no, you shouldn't see that. Definitely had too much strength.
Okay. And I'm gonna
I'm
go
okay,
home.
I
Spirits,
swear
maybe
I'm
see
okay.
spirits.
Yeah, so you all make it safely home,
Mhm.
and you wake up the next morning, and you call a team powwow. What are you thinking?
All right, so who's to hang over to deal with life today?
I feel great.
Patch is probably fine.
Yeah.
He drinks professionally.
I
That's part of his job.
I had some canned chicken noodle soup before I went to bed, so I feel great.
Fair
That
dog and bitchin'.
Yeah.
Dr. Biscuits is, wouldn't say fine, but I'm not sure you would ever say fine. Dr. Biscuits is pretty much as you expect him to be every day.
All right,
Like, I guess fine for certain
Erratic.
definitions of fine.
I guess I have no excuse for getting out of work today then. If
I'll
you
bring you
all
some
wish.
breakfast, some oatmeal and OJ if you can stomach it.
I mean,
Throw it up
Ilya,
later, it'll be fine.
like, just because we're fine, it doesn't mean that you have to go to work. Like, you don't have to keep up with the rest of us. Nobody is judging you. If you don't feel good, you're fine. Don't,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm used to this. I do this for a living. Did you forget where my other
Yeah,
job
but
is?
we're not your job. We're your family. Like, we treat you better than your job.
I'm not drunk or hangover. I'm just trying to get out of work.
That's okay, too.
I have a few things to do with that. If you'd like one that helps induce vomiting, and then you can obviously show them that you obviously are too sick to work.
She will look at you and be like, no thanks.
Damn. Just pat
Well.
Dr. Biscuits on the shoulder. It's alright, man.
You know what? You can't help people that don't want to be helped. Doctor.
so.
Your friend, your family.
Mm.
Um, do any of you on a out of game meta level have an idea of what you want to do as a mission?
I mean, we got the blue coats on our tail, so we know, or looking at us at the very least. Wasn't there an idea of possibly seeing exactly what they have on us by infiltrating their ranks? In a sense, by literally getting the file on us.
I think someone did talk about that at some point.
Yeah, there is that.
We did get some info from them at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
We could try to like pay one of them off, have them gone inside.
Maybe.
Um,
And I mean, I did buy them ice cream the other day, so maybe.
you know, it might take more than that. You might have to drop some big money.
Okay.
Other people that you guys would probably know that are enemies of the bill hooks, like in general, if you want to go that route to help Conan out. and these are rumors that you've heard. Ulf Ironborn and the Lost would be people you could like attempt to steal stuff from, or whatever you'd want to decide to do.
I mean, we can see if there's somebody instead of maybe. So who are like? So we're not friends with the Billhooks or the Bluecoats. That's what I'm guessing, right?
You are friends with a portion of the Billhooks.
Okay,
You had promised
that's right.
Conan that, or Corin, that
Mhm.
you would work with him,
Okay.
and you know, or you've been hearing rumors that his dad's in prison. He's
Mhm.
technically the leader,
Okay.
and that his aunt and himself are basically staging a coup, for lack of a better term.
Gotcha, but like on
Within it.
opposite ends.
They both want to be the leader
Mhm.
ultimately of the game.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the Bill Hooks and the William Hooks.
The Richard Hooks, the Dick Hooks. So what? Just kind of like thinking, eating, drinking my OJ, thinking it's like, well, what if we helped Corin out with his Q? Is there a way that we can maybe deal a blow to his aunt? What does she own in town that could get her attention away from leadership? Like, does she have any like personal business other than something that could strike a blow to her, to weaken her and thus fuel the efforts of Corin?
You have an inkling of which ones of the Bill Hooks allies are on his aunt's side. And you get the feeling that the Blue Coats are definitely more on his aunt's side.
Mm-hmm. What if we framed her for something that the Blue Coats could not ignore?
Well, I mean, the Blue Hooks are very, very fond of their tools, equipment, and their weapons. If we could manage to raid their armory and plant the evidence, that would certainly anger them. That could be very difficult, though. Might be easier just to get hold of the number of
So we're trying to frame another faction, potentially.
Yeah. Corin's
I like
aunt,
that.
so Corin's aunt and Corin are both trying to, they're battling out or in a political mess to get leadership of the Billhooks because Corin's dad is in prison. His aunt has an in with the Blue Coats, but we're on Corin's side. So we need to deal a blow to his aunt somehow, and I am essentially just kind of like throwing out ideas on how to like deal a blow to her. Like, there is taking away something important to her, like let's say like she had, like, maybe look for information if she owns any sort of business and maybe take out that business or steal from that business if she has or
I like
if
that idea.
yeah, that's, you like that one? Yeah.
I mean, I like that. Anything that would hurt her, but then I also think that if we could make it look like it was the Bluecoats or like like somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
that might be good too. We might take heat regardless, but if it,
Oh, heat, heat. We need to apply heat to a building. I can help with that.
Well, I think.
yeah, we might need to, depending on what
Mm-hmm.
path we go down.
Think. Let's get some more information on the aunt. Like, let's see who she is and what she does, and figure out where we can strike a blow on her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to try to gather information on the ant? Is that what
Yep.
you're thinking about doing?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. How do you want to go about doing this?
I guess this is the Royce thing. I like to go about with Do we know? Do we know who
Sorry,
she
go.
is? Do we know her name, or can we get her name easily?
You probably can get it from
Mm-hmm.
Conan or Corin, whatever the fuck I named him.
Corin, yeah. I
Well, that's actually a name from the book. I keep getting this confused.
gotcha. What if we essentially follow her around inconspicuously in like her social circles?
I don't think you know enough about her to do that
Okay.
without some groundwork
Well,
first.
yeah, let's find out what her social circles are first by following her around.
You have not actually seen her. You only have heard rumors of this happening, or possibly Corin.
Let's go find her so we can see her.
Okay.
Hmm.
How would you like to go about doing this?
I'll ask Corin who she is and where she lives, and then I'll follow her.
Okay, I was gonna say because I don't think you have enough information
Yeah.
right now. Was what I was trying to hint at.
Okay.
Cool.
You don't need
would
to
you
hint. You can just say that I don't have enough information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want to play out the scene getting this information from him?
I'll just do the roll.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll just be like, hey, go to his fucking gambling den, tell him that we're looking to strike a blow to his aunt, where she is, who she is, and what's a good place to start looking to strike a blow.
Go ahead and roll gather information,
Cool.
just to know how much he's
All right.
willing to give to you in information.
All right. And I'll argue a sway for that one, I guess.
Okay.
And it is just a fortune roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And effect?
There should be
No
none.
effect. Okay.
Because it's a fortune roll. Cool.
No extra dice. Come on, buddy. There we go.
Okay, so he gives you a name of another business,
Mm-hmm.
which is also run by the Bellhooks, but seems to be more her faction. Sorry. Should just have pulled this up to begin with. We are going to go with the Devilish Hammer Pub, and he'll give you a location. It's actually not too far away from the Bald Goose, and usually she can be found in the back of the pub. Oftentimes, she'll be doing she'll be cooking, just because she enjoys it. From there, you actually see the map like pulled out on the desk, the one from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he points to or he places actually like another one of those houses. She lives here. She tries to vary it up, but I have people tailing her, and she isn't doing a very good job at switching up the routes between where she's going.
Okay. I get to ask questions, right?
You can ask follow-up questions. Yes.
All right. I would like to know where in this. So she owns this bar, right? Is what I'm getting at, or did I misunderstand?
You get the impression that it was like a bar that Corin's dad like owns,
Okay.
but they've kind of started to split the faction almost into two factions, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, like that.
You know, the ones that
So
want her
Corin's
to
dad
be
owns this bar, but she's essentially the manager.
correct.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically like this is the hideout for her like part of the faction, the people that want her to be in charge.
Mhm.
The bald goose
Yeah.
is more of Corin's,
Okay.
and the people there support him.
All right. So if Corin got a whole ownership of this bar, would that deal a blow to her?
You get the feeling, yes.
Okay. How do we get to the deed? Where can
That
we
would
find the deed?
That would probably be something somewhere in the government that I can give you a better answer for.
Okay.
Because you know that there is kind of a main like city council chambers
Mm-hmm.
where this would be.
Okay. So, I'm thinking, Corin, if we get you the deed to your dad's bar so that you become ownership of for it, that's going to grow your empire, right?
I
It'll
mean,
give you
yes.
a leg. It'll give you a leg over your aunt.
Yes. It probably will also incite an all-out turf war.
Are you trying to avoid a turf war? Like,
I mean, no, not entirely. I'm still in the preparation stages of being actually prepared to take on the turf war.
okay. Well, then how can we help you, Corin? How can we help you?
He kind of tilts his head for a second and looks at you. You know what? They can't plan to take me out. Maybe we do have the upper hand. Maybe you're onto something.
Smarter than I look.
He puts down like a third, instead of it just being like a house, which you know this information, but it's more of a like tower kind of a thing. He puts it down. We've had people looking into the deeds for the buildings that my father owns and what has happened to them since he's been in prison. And this building is where you're going to want to go to get those deeds.
All right.
I know we haven't quite figured out how to break into this place. It's pretty heavily fortified. I would hate for you guys to be hurt in the process of.
Oh man, that's so sweet of you.
Look, I need as many allies as I can get. For when this turf war actually happens. I would hate for you guys to be hurt and taken out before that.
Before that, of course. I mean, we're not exactly turf war kind of people. We're get something and get out kind of people. So that's what we can do for you. And when the turf war happens, that'll be a great distraction just to get more stuff and get out for us. So we're on the same page.
Royce.
What?
Friend. I thought you said you would help me.
Yeah, I am.
Like, with whatever I needed.
Yeah, I am. You want the deeds. We got it.
He just hangs his head for a second. Okay. Cool. You do that.
We'll take the heat off of us if there's a turf war. I mean, if we're not involved in it.
I mean, that's fair. I'll try to round up some troops and we'll try to provide a distraction for you.
Alright, cool. We'll come up with a plan and we'll let you know what we come up with then. Like, we'll probably have to survey the place a bit before we do stuff. But yeah, cool. Anyway, hey, if you need an otter, let me know. And I will leave. I will go home. If everyone is there, be like, we're getting some deeds! And with that, I have to go to the bathroom. So...
Kind of thinking about the same thing.
Time for a break?
Yes?
Yay, break time.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
I'm just thinking of what would have been funny at that point is if what happened just right now actually happened. We're getting... Roy slams his table down. We're getting some deeds. Then he runs off.
Hold on, gotta peek.
Yeah.
Nature calls. Yeah.
We should probably stain the deeds that we steal in some way, just so we can claim we have dirty deeds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're dirty because they're stolen.
Yep.
We
Dirty deeds stolen for a fair price.
we're gonna probably have to like figure out what kind of building this is or what kind of security you have or whatever, and then we can
Mm-hmm.
Blow
that
it
might
up.
be another survey roll or something.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at.
Who has the best survey?
Think
I
of
know
those
I
guys.
might have the best consort. I'm not sure, but
I have 2 in consort, but my best skill is finesse.
yeah, I have 3 in consort.
Nice. So yeah, you probably do have the best.
Yeah.
I think Royce has the best survey, but I could be wrong.
I heard
Yeah.
something about being wrong.
I think that Royce has the best survey, so we might need to get him to check out the place. Or we could always get Ilya to consort with somebody who knows the place, maybe find out what's going on with it that way. That's also this is valid too. Because I don't know if you've rolled anything yet. But everybody have to go into the restroom, so I'm just kind of talking until people get back, and then I'm gonna go.
There's a couple ways you can do this.
preferably quick and quiet.
You don't want to be too quiet though, because then you don't get an ear up.
Yeah,
Just from a mechanic standpoint.
yeah, makes sense. Today is just a day where I'm just talking less, but I'm trying to participate.
I will try to have something for Ilya to do.
Yeah, instead of talking, I've been drawing while listening to everyone. Oh, yeah.
I knew there was a table for opportunities. I just found it.
Be right back. I'm going to use the restroom as well.
Sorry, what did you just find that you're gonna make us suffer with?
There's a table of possible like for each crew possible
Oh,
scores
yeah.
you can go on, and I knew it was in there. I've used it on you guys at one point, and I just couldn't find it again.
Oh yes, with all the crew sheets.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I decided that this makes more sense anyway because we need to wrap up this story arc, and we can cause other shenanigans if we do a season 2. So
Shenanigans. And I mean, and those are just things, those are suggestions that align with the, primary focus of each crew type. It doesn't mean
Right.
you have to do only those.
well, right,
'Cause, I mean,
because you pretty much haven't done any smuggling for the most part.
well,
save-
we've done a few transports, including,
Human
That's-
transport.
yeah. Well, okay, I mean, we tried to smuggle some goods and we ran into pirates.
It's true.
That was like the first thing, and then there was like, okay, smuggle this woman out, and it's like, oh, you've unpossessed her before you getting her where she's going. You can come back now.
You also smuggled art for Costa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised we didn't end up having to do some bounty hunting to cover for her.
Well, there's a reason she didn't do the illicit stuff. I could have. That's still something that could happen if we do a season 2. I'm not saying that's not a possibility.
Season 2, new crew type, and we'll have Buddy, the bounty hunter.
Buddy, the bounty hunter.
Hunter. Yeah.
Actually, I think there's just everybody has to play otters next season. Now that the kids have happened, there's enough otters for everyone to play.
It'll be Blades in the Dark Season 2, the Otter Dimension.
Oh.
There is actually a Blades in the Dark hack called Dogs in the Bark, where you play as dogs.
So we just reskin that to be otters.
Yeah.
I like this. I'll have to pitch this to Val.
Yeah, and I haven't read too closely on it, but like you still have your load amount, but instead that is considered luck, luck and coincidence, and so you can declare things like, instead of like, oh, I have a sword, you can declare, oh, there's an open window here.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that mechanic. I like games that have like fate tokens or luck or resolve willpower that you can use in that way.
Yeah. Scum and Villainy, which is the sort of spacey one based on this, does include sort of a crew luck point called Gambits. It is in the Blades book near the back under variations. But essentially, the crew has a pool of Gambits, which normally starts at 2, but you can pump those up. And anyone in the crew can spend them for +1 die, and you regain them whenever somebody makes a risky roll, not controlled, not desperate, only risky, and they don't use a gambit, and they get a 6. And then, of course, the Scoundrel Playbook, which is really, has an ability called Never Tell Me the Odds, which lets them get even more gambits.
Mhm.
But I like the general premise of Scum and Villainy. It's like, so it's a role-playing game where everyone is Han Solo. And then there's a Scoundrel Playbook to be extra Han Solo. But go ahead.
I thought so. I actually even marked the page with the gambits on it. I thought about doing it, but you all get auto crits and rerolls and stuff anyway, which
yeah, that's definitely a thing. So,
but if I was gonna play in a home game, I think I'd probably use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, also in Scum and Villainy, the Pilot Playbook actually has victory cigars as a playbook item.
Yes.
Yeah.
So next season, you're gonna play Otters in Space. Okay, let's go. Let's play Scum and Villainy with Otters.
Okay, Space Otters,
I could totally pitch that as an idea. I really want that to be a thing now.
Me too.
Uh-huh.
All right.
It's like Buddy and Betty's like great grandchildren. Oh, we're playing Otters in Space next spring, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna play basically Scum and Villainy with Otters.
Okay. Sounds great. I'm down.
Because in part I pointed out that the Pilot Playbook in Scum and Villainy actually has victory cigars as a playbook item.
Huzzah!
Just so you can have those.
Okay. What are we doing?
Back.
What's the
What
plan?
We need somebody to get some more information, probably, because we don't know anything about this building, or what it is guarded by, or whom, or who, whatever the correct word there
Sounds
is.
like a plan. Some more information gathering.
So, just
So
thinking
yeah, we
maybe-
believe Royce has the best survey.
I do. I have a +3
want
in
to.
survey.
You could also flirt with some cops.
Yup.
Julia. That might also work. Say, use the term cops loosely.
I mean, let's be real. It's really not that loose. Hi, on Val's channel we say ACAB. Okay. So it's kind of between. Could we simultaneously gather information based, like Ilya kind of going into the ins and outs with her social abilities, and me like physically surveying the place?
You will end up with different information.
Yeah, and combine the information. So why don't we do Ilya first with her abilities, I think.
Okay. So, do you just want me to do a standard sway consort thing, or do you want me to do a story with it?
You tell me how you would like to. So this is what I imagine, and you can tell me if you don't imagine this for Ilya.
Alright.
So you all know that this is like a governmental building.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm imagining like a front desk clerk.
Mhm.
And that you're walking up to the front desk clerk. How would you tell me how you'd like to interact with said front desk clerk? Is it more of a like you want to flirt with said desk clerk, or you're trying to like coax information out? Because that would make a difference as to what the ideal role would be.
I feel like she would flirt just because that's the way that she coaxes information out the best.
Okay, go ahead and make a fortune roll. Let me describe this person to you so you know who's sitting there. It is going to be a young man whose name is Stev. It's S-T, I guess that would be Steve. It could be Steve. It's S-T-E-V.
They were gonna name him Steve, but it was too long. Didn't have time.
Yep.
Parents were in a hurry.
Yep.
Steph. Come on, Steph.
Got put on his birth certificate wrong. It's fine. And what you see him wearing, he is wearing a hood that that isn't up, but you can see it like around his shoulder, like think medieval times hood. And he is sitting at the counter, or at the desk. And I think, just to be ostentatious, like his name's on a placard, like on the desk, because why not?
Alright. So Ilya would walk up there, be like, "Hello, Steve. I've heard that there were some mighty fine men here, and could you be one of them?"
Go ahead and roll for me.
All right. Just a fortune or
Yeah,
one?
just a fortune is fine.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. So he kind of looks up at you. What can I help you with, miss?
Oh, yes. I'm actually unsure yet. I want to figure out more about if this place right here is the right place for me to join. You see?
He looks at you for a moment. This is a government building.
Yes, I'm wondering if I should apply for a job here.
I mean, if you're gonna have a desk job like me, it's kind of it can be boring at times.
Oh, but I'm sure it's peaceful, right?
Sometimes.
Oh, that's perfect for a job that I would love. A job that's peaceful sometimes, but other times can really just get my adrenaline pumping, if you know what I mean.
Look, do you have is there something or someone I can point you in the direction of in this building?
Oh, I was wondering if you have someone who might be looking for a helper with documents and such, specifically on places of land if you need that. I just have studied stuff like that as a hobby, so I feel like I'd be able to help out.
Flawless execution.
Here he puts down a piece of paper and a quill. Write down your information. If someone needs something, we'll get back to you.
All right. So with this, Ilya will definitely write down a fake name.
And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and she'll just have all the fake information she gives to her clients that are a bit too pushy. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I will make sure the appropriate people find out this information. I hope you have a good day, miss.
You too. Oh, and if they somehow can't reach me, I am usually at this bar in states where she works. Just because that would. She needs some bit of truth in her lies.
He just gives you like a little nod, like just quick little like head dip, and goes back to working on whatever he was working on before you walked in.
Alright. Well, then she'll walk out to where her friends are probably all crowding just the side of the building and like, my plan was a total bust. The front desk knows nothing and I can't get further unless I actually get a job there, which I said I was there for, so hopefully everything turns out.
Well, good. E for effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the word E does start, or effort does start with the letter E, Patches.
Yeah, well, they didn't seem to be swayed by me. Do you think they'd be more interested in someone like you, Patches?
No. Unfortunately, I think that a best bet might be some otter reconnaissance in this situation. Maybe some, maybe something Royce can do. Maybe something the doctor can do, even.
Oh, yes. With a desk as big as they have, being so ostentatious, they probably won't be able to see a small otter running around.
If I go in there, I feel like I will have a hard time in the future trying to cover my tracks. I would at the very least need some kind of disguise, a wig.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of auto reconnaissance, the way that I kind of imagine Royce gathering information about this building, he is very specifically going to be looking for guard shifts and time and who's on at what hour. Is there a guard that will typically be a little bit lazier than the others for this building? And how often is he on, when what his schedule is, and that kind of stuff. Like I'm looking essentially what would be our physical opening to getting in and getting out quickly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna take you some time.
Yeah. I assume I'd probably be looking at this like a good week at least. And like
Okay.
during that time is also when Ilya was kind of doing her stuff, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there really isn't a mechanic for extended roles. So
Gather information can take a very long amount of time and still take only one roll.
Mm-hmm.
well, I understand. I was trying to decide if I was gonna give her any extra dice. Was what I was trying to do. Go ahead and just make a straight roll for me.
Alright. And I'm gonna argue survey for this. A survey fortune. Because that is what I'm good at.
I mean, this is basically the
This
way
is
you
my
set
thing.
this up.
Yeah,
is-
this is my
is
thing.
Survey.
It's not my thing. I'm gonna re-roll that shit. I'm sorry. Like, I have got to do better than that. There is no, or we don't have a mission. Like,
Guys,
Get it.
still can do worse. Okay, anyway.
yeah, let's
Go,
re-roll
Val,
the
go.
shit out of that, please. Thank you so much. Like,
Nice.
this is why we give biddies to this channel, because we wouldn't get anywhere. Alright, cool. I got me a 6.
I still
Okay.
have a plan for whenever everyone else is done.
Awesome.
Uh-oh, that scares me. Okay.
Not me. Not me. I'm excited. I am fucking excited. Let's do this.
So you see that think of like Buckingham Palace, where you have the guard, like the military in bearskin caps.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as obnoxious as that, but
Yeah.
there's a like. It seems to be almost like every 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be like a new guard that comes on, and then just a domino knock-on effect from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guard that just comes on. 15 minutes is maybe, probably 2 hours is probably more realistic.
Gotcha.
And they are just standing there, like stone cold. Like if you didn't know they were alive,
Mm-hmm.
they look like practically like statues. Like you'd have to get up like really
Mhm.
close to even like see them breathe. And the places where the guards are stationed, like there's a guard on both sides of the main entrance.
Mm-hmm.
They're, you know, every maybe 30 or 40 yards from each other, like not like around the building, like
Mm-hmm.
or around the tower. So they're, yeah. Do you have any follow-up questions? Anything else you want to know from me?
All right, so they're Buckingham Palace style guards. What times? When do they do shift changes?
It's even hours every every
Even
2
hours every 2 hours. And to kind of tack onto that one, since it's only like 2 hours, shift changes. Is it like a rotating amount of people? Like is it like every other people's like the same, or it's like the
So-
same 6 people rotating these hours, or they're like just like completely
So they
changing
don't-
over?
They don't leave like one of the stations empty. You see a guard who wasn't out like guarding
Mm-hmm.
come out. He takes the first position, and then the guard that like is closest to
Right.
wherever they come out, that guard goes in and takes a break for a while.
Okay, that wasn't my
So there
question.
are more.
All right, so is it the same people is what I'm asking. Like, is it the, like, let's say you have shift 1 change to shift 2, right? Is shift 3 the same people from shift 1, or is it a completely different shift group of
I see
people?
what you're asking.
Yeah.
Good question.
Although my answer does, like, it's a group of people who like rotate through, so they may be out there for like an entire day
Mm-hmm.
and get a day or two off.
Okay. Is there a particular guard who, let's say, might be late more often than once?
Not that you noticed.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll come back home, sit at the table, look at Ilya, and be like, I don't have anything. I guess this is not a mission we can do. You're muted, Rabbit.
Well, maybe we
I got it.
forge a copy of it instead.
But we don't know what it looks like in order to forge the copy.
Well, if it's a standard certificate, then we would just need a blank copy of any property deed, and then we just need to forge one part of it, which is the signature.
I guess. So
Would you
his.
not be able to access the deed for this house that we are in, that you are technically at least the owning family of?
What was the question?
Would
I'm
you not-
sorry.
Would you not be able to legitimately access the deed for this property we are currently occupying, which either you or your family is the registered owner of?
I can access this deed. I can access the deed to my house if that's what you're asking. I own the deed to this house.
Yeah,
yes,
so we could.
and
Yeah.
so then we would have
Copy it.
a copy of a deed to make a forgery of.
So we can forge.
Unless
We
they
could just
have
replace a few
completely-
things, you know. We
Yeah.
just replace the name of the place and the people's names as well.
Unless they have a completely different style of deed for commercial properties, but I don't think so.
The blue coats. I mean, what are the odds that, as long as we're dealing with unless we're dealing with the top brass, they probably don't know the difference.
I guess my biggest concern with that is if we provide a fake deed and a fake signature, what happens when his aunt gets the real deed and the real signature and it's this compared?
Good question.
Yeah. Because
Because
she probably has access
why we're
to
talking about it.
the deed because she owns the building, right?
Well, we could wait till she goes to access it, snatch it then. But that would be too conspicuous. It would, at that point, it's not a setup anymore.
Alright. I have two ideas. One.
I'm all ears.
One of us gets a job as a guard, giving us access.
I mean, I have a uniform
Yeah.
that I could wear and pretend to be a guard. I know that I could get hired.
They were pretty tight with they were pretty tight with their shifts. And they had and I kind of explained the procedure that they went through and how it was legitimately sometimes the same people over and over again. The other is, what if we don't need to forge it? What if we come up with a new deed and we get the dad to sign it? He's in prison, right?
Is that how properties work? I'm not sure.
He's technically the owner of the property, right?
Yes, technically still is the owner of the property.
Right.
So he could file for a replacement or something, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
It is worth a shot, but we'll have to send a letter to a prisoner or get somebody in prison to do that. I don't want to go to prison.
I would prefer not to go to prison either. We
They
might have
allow prisoners to have visitors?
sometimes. There's...
Why
However,
not?
what if someone poses as lawyer?
Are lawyers a thing? I'm sure that, yeah, maybe.
There have always been lawyers as long as there's been laws.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And I'll
I
put
mean,
on my best suit.
I mean, there's been lawyers in Shakespeare time. Why wouldn't there be lawyers now?
Basketball, yeah.
Who's Shakespeare? Is that that guy that we were talking about earlier? Lord Scarlock? You mean Lord Scarlock?
No,
We-
I think he's the famous guy that shook that spear once.
We actually panned to a poster near the theater district. New play, Romeo and Juliet, by Willie Shakespeare.
Wow, those are weird foreign names.
He's an immigrant, okay?
And you have names like Biscuits and
RC Cola.
Right, RC Cola, yeah. And Royce kind of shrugs. Anyway, those are just my ideas. I'm open to others. I mean, maybe this isn't something that we can do. If not, then we have to figure out something else. Or lay low, or I'll keep working
Well,
on my book.
I mean,
how
if the
good
challenge
of
is
friends are you with Conan? Sorry, Doctor, I didn't mean to talk over him.
no,
Go ahead, Jason.
What were we gonna say?
Well, I mean, if it's a matter of determining the layout of the building so we can find a way, way around when we get in, that should be easy enough to ascertain. But all the rest of this is starting to sound very complicated. I mean, we just need to get a hold of the deed, and then what are we doing with the deed once we get a hold of it?
We're giving it to Corin.
Does a deed that is stolen still have any legitimate?
If it's the only copy, yeah. That's how that works, right? If you own the deed, then I don't know how I don't know how property works in real life, I guess. So.
I don't know either.
Mhm.
Well, in the modern day, they'd have redundant records and whatnot, but in the old days, I mean, yeah, they probably keep, obviously paper records and that, but like they say, possession is 9/10 of the law.
Coming back around to what I was saying, how good of friends are you with this guy, that
Corin?
Conan,
Conan.
or Corin? Is
Corin.
it Corin?
I mean, I don't
Corin
think I'm.
is the guy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm friends with him at all. Like we're business partners at this point. I'm guessing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so idea. We burn down the bar. We tell Corin it was his aunt who did it, because she didn't want anyone to have it. Because we tell him we forge the okay. So my brain's got some multiple things going in and out. We
Let's do
forge
this.
the document, right? Okay.
Okay.
We forge the document.
Where's the
Like
document?
we said we were going to in the beginning, but
Yeah.
we give it to Corin and we say, hey man, we stole it, even though we didn't steal it. We
Mhm.
stole it, but looks like she burned the bar down, so there's no bar anymore. So even though you have the deed, you can't really do anything with it. So he'll be mad at her, and then we make it look like he did it. We frame him.
For her, and they just take each other out, and we're there to pick up the ashes.
Well, we're there to just
Make the ashes?
slowly fade into the background, so that we can do whatever we want, make some more money in our final job, so that we can maybe work towards a better retirement. Because right now we're looking a little on the poor side.
Thanks, Patches, for being our dad.
Patch is the practical thinker. Try saying that 10 times fast.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. I mean,
Question is, who is really good at forging documents?
not me.
Only me. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on which specific ability you want to use for that. I've only got like one in study, and I have none in finesse.
I have 3 in finesse.
You're probably the best at forging things.
Be tinker to forge things.
Depends on what word of definition of forge you're using. Tinker would be like metalworking. I would say probably finesse would be more like fine details and control.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll
Sure,
roll it.
it's more about mechanisms.
Right.
So,
I will. I'll do it. So fortune roll. Here we go.
Heck yeah, Patches. Get it, buddy. Get it.
So I spend a few hours with like my glasses and under a lamp, with my glasses on, this document. You're with the detail this property. I forge a copy and replace the name of this property with the bar and the name of Royce's family with the name of Corin. And probably takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine, but that might work for what I have planned. Now, Dr. Biscuits, you you in charge of burning this building down.
Wunderbar!
I think before we go any further,
Mm-hmm.
we should probably do an engagement roll.
I think this is a Dr. Biscuits engagement if he's in charge of
Yes,
burning down a building.
I would probably agree. So you get your base one. I'm going to give you another one because this is particularly bold and daring and not a direction I saw you guys going at all. I would say you get another, because I think this is a vulnerability of the building or the target.
They're not expecting this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But technically, the target is a higher tier,
Alright.
so you get 2 dice.
2 dice.
I would also like to point out you have 3 auto crits.
See if his luck is
Yeah.
good first, and then he can use it if it's bad.
Yeah, I like JRPGs. You always save yourself for when things go really
Mhm.
bad.
We're safe scumming here.
Which admittedly, being confronted with a demon is really bad.
There you go.
Okay, cool. You
Nice, guys,
are
always house.
in a controlled position when it all starts. Give me just a second, because I have a tickle in my throat. Sorry, I don't need to breathe.
It's
Fine.
no, breathing's important. Go ahead.
Allergens are still really bad.
Mm-hmm. Mine are terrible out here too, so don't feel bad.
Cool. Let's load up and start this shindig. We've got like an hour.
We about to burn down a bar. All right.
This bar
Yep.
is on fire!
This bar is on fire.
I'm gonna
But not
go. I think out of if anyone is gonna have a heavy load, it should be me. So I will go heavy. And also probably biscuits too. But I am the muscle of the group essentially. So
yet, which is
I know.
pretty darn funny. Anyway,
Well,
I love the
Rude.
Hounds playbook, by the way. Like, it speaks to me on so many levels. So I feel it.
I'm enjoying the leech, especially with bandoliers. You can just get up to so much.
Mm-hmm.
so just so you all know, I'm going to say that this is an assault mission because you are most definitely doing violence to a target.
Yep.
The bar being the target.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a 6. So everybody, Patches and Ilya, what load are you guys taking?
I feel like Ilya does not have too much that can help with this one, so I'm going to do a light load.
I think
So there's
Ilya
two-
will be really good at maybe distracting some people out of the bar that
Yeah.
we don't want getting caught in the fire.
Because
Yeah.
you guys know, have heard of the bar,
Yeah.
the Devilish Hammer. Like, this is a place where people, like, go to shoot the shit and go to a bar. Like,
Yeah,
it is not just a hideout, it is a bar.
yeah. It's an establishment of the town.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a pub,
Yeah.
which stands for public.
I'm almost thinking we definitely need to create a distraction going into this mission for biscuits. Maybe that can be me and Patches too. Oh no.
Rude.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe you just need to send a baby goat in there and have that be your new character.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see the goat until it was like, I'm not happy I'm in here.
She's been snuggling it for the past 20 minutes. What are you
I
talking?
haven't. I've been juggling other things so I can
Mhm.
tell a compelling story. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Patches, you gonna take
Light
a
load.
light load? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
because most of my stuff's zero load anyway. The stuff that I used a lot.
Mhm.
Cool. So I think, let me set the scene. It's a bustling night at the Devilish Hammer pub. And you can kind of, if you sit back, we'll zoom in to when you get there. People are coming and going, having a good time. And we kind of zoom in. We see the aunt. We see Erin.
Mhm.
Because Corin would have given you that name.
Okay.
We see her. You see other.
Uh-oh. I'm frozen. No! Oh, there I go. 0 kilobytes.
Like middle class type people.
2 seconds, fam, before you do that. OBS is freaking out.
Oh.
Yeah, my internet just, like, dropped. I gotta get us back up to... We're at 0 kilobytes, so nobody's hearing what we're saying. Yeah, I know, right?
I
see.
I'm mad too.
I'm mad, too. So, what's going on? It said my internet connection was unstable. Alright, OBS, come on.
I was gonna say you're fine, like talking to us. So.
Yeah, well, for a hot second I wasn't, so I just need to restart the
Oh.
stream, it looks like.
But now I have to rehost.
I know.
Trying to do cool like cinematic stuff and things.
Alright, let's see. We can get back going. Alright, looks like we're back. So, yeah, OBS just kind of had a hiccup and wouldn't reconnect us after my internet had a hiccup. So, if you could, Theater, describe again what, the setup of the scene, because I think I personally got to, it's like, you see Erin, because that's the name that Corin gave us. That's the last thing I heard on the description.
Cool. So as we've established, the Devilish Hammer Pub is an establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Establishment. Not a front for anything, just an establishment. It's fine. And we kind of pull out from the bar, and we get an establishing shot of like people coming and going from the bar. And we follow someone into the bar, and it's bustling. You see both Erin, who you know is Corin's aunt, and who's also trying to gain control of the bill hooks. You also see some more muscular dock type workers, but this seems to be not a high class establishment. More of the industrial, like middle lower class type people.
The working class, essentially.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Yes.
All right.
And so we'll pull back to wherever you guys are before you like set off to do arson.
Right. So we definitely want to prevent as many casualties as possible, or do we not crew? Like, what's or if there is going to be a casualty, I'm not saying that the ant burning down is a bad thing, but it could definitely help our buddy in the long run.
I know I can try to get some of the men out of there.
Mhm.
Maybe a couple women, I don't know.
What if we did? I know.
Exactly.
What if we did a? Hear me out. A second fire of something not important as a distraction.
Hmm.
Double or nothing, baby.
Let's say like we go and we burn something unimportant down, but close enough to where people like it gets people out of the house. What else is in the area around the bar?
Business like small storefronts. Here.
Is
We
it by
could
the-
just make a bunch of garbage fires.
It's true. Is it by the water?
It is no.
Okay.
I feel like that's twice as much likelihood for people to get hurt, twice as much likelihood for people to, I mean, even if it's a safe fire, like we're not firing them,
I know. Okay, well, that was I was just gonna make an explosion to get people out. Like, if it was by the water, I would have sacrificed our own boathouse. That was also my thought.
A noise might work. Maybe not another fire. Maybe if you could just make like a firecracker, kind of. You know what I mean?
As you're standing there,
Mhm.
you do see like bricks that have fallen like from some of the buildings and big like essentially like steel oil drums.
Okay.
Doc,
Oh.
wanna check them out?
I don't know. So there are some bricks, there are some drums, or like big empty drums, closed drums,
They are empty. Like they have the tops open.
tops open, they're empty, they're made out of metal. Alright. Not really sure what we're looking to do with these. I mean, trying to make a distraction, try and get people out of the bar.
Yeah.
But I would think something outside the bar would encourage them to stay in. Like, if there's explosions outside your building, the first thing you're going to do is not run out of the building. So,
Have you ever been in a place where something's exploded?
well,
People are
inside-
nosy. Like, that's what I'm counting on here. Like you hear like something blows up, most people actually do want to see what's going on.
As
That's
long
what-
as they aren't too big, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why rubbernecking causes more car accidents after a car accident.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we could have some fun with this.
This is like Dr. Biscuit's moment to shine. Come on.
Alright. So you know what? Well, we'll make a bit of a performance out of this. We'll take several drums. We'll stack them up into some kind of a pleasing. If we have enough drums, I'm gonna put them into a vaguely humanoid shape.
Done.
Then right across the torso of this humanoid drum thing, I'm going to go and paint blue coats. Nice big blue letters so everybody knows what this is supposed to represent. And then I'm just going to drop a live grenade into the middle of it and beat heat. So when it goes off, it will make an incredibly loud booming sound amplified by the drums, as well as send all the drums flying every which way.
And how would you like to do this?
I suppose that's pretty much a tinker roll.
I was gonna say you could probably build it just fine. It's the exploding shit and not getting hurt that might be more difficult.
Tinker or wreck, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and of course, as I'm running away, I tell people, "Watch out! The blue coat's gonna get you." Try
Okay.
and hurt people away. Pretty much. I mean, this is an impressive piece of performance art.
Okay. Good. Go ahead. What are you rolling?
Oh, I'll do wreck.
Okay.
Make
It
this
will.
as impressive looking as possible.
It will be a controlled standard effect.
And you know what? I am gonna push myself because
Oh.
why not?
We just lost
Sarah,
Rabbit.
yeah, we just lost Sarah. That's okay. Keep going. Just keep talking.
Well, I succeeded with the consequence. I'll take that consequence. But yeah.
Cool. So here's what happens. The people around your performance art, they kind of like are watching and watching, and they see you like pull the pin or light the wick. That's the or fuse. There we go. I can word. On the grenade, because I'm imagining like the big ball ones. That's the picture I have in my head.
Oh, this is definitely a black spear with the wick hanging out
Yes,
of it.
yes, that's exactly. We're on the same page. So you light it, and what happens here is there's a long pause, like much longer than you expected, between when you lit it and when you expected it to go off. And so I think what happens then is you're maybe closer than you intended to be, and then all of a sudden it goes off and it's sending one of the oil drums your direction.
Oh,
Yeah, the
the oil drum's coming our direction. That's gonna be harm, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, not a lot, probably not a lot, but
Oh.
it's probably just one harm. You took a oil drum to the knee. You used to be an adventurer.
And then I took an oil drum to the knee.
Uh-huh.
I used to be
Oh.
a scoundrel.
happens to the
Yeah.
rest of us.
You know what? I will be ridiculous. I will declare armor on this to negate the harm, and instead, as the drum comes flying towards me, it comes flying in such a way that it actually, the open end comes right around my head, and the drum falls onto me as I'm running away, tripping me and falling. I'm like, and now I'm rolling down the street,
Yes.
legs sticking out of this drum that has blue coat written on it, going, "Help! Help! I'm being oppressed! Come see the violence inherent in the system!" And banging loudly.
Yep,
Oh,
that
that's-
happened.
Yep.
We did want a distraction.
Yep.
That works.
And I think those of you who are watching the bar and the viewers who can see the door to the bar, there are a good number of people running out of the bar now. Towards the bouncing barrel of Dr. Biscuits on the cobblestone street.
I want to use my fine cover identity to
Mhm.
be dressed as, and if I need to make a flashback or take stress or something, I will to be dressed as one of Corin's men.
Okay.
One of like, I don't know if they have a uniform or a badge or anything.
So what you know about the billhooks in general, and what you've noticed by watching, is that it's mostly like, like calf length breeches, and like just a white shirt is what you've seen most of the billhooks wearing. Both when you got confronted by Aaron's guys at the dock when you were trying to deliver or smuggle goods, as well as when you were at the Bald Goose around more of Corin's guys. You get the feeling that like they don't have a uniform, but they all kind of just standardly dress a certain way.
Okay.
Who would like to do something?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I
Okay.
suppose I would like to have dressed like that and try to start this fire. Perhaps I use some kind of sleight of hand, or yeah, I think that actually might be what I would try to do, is maybe get close to the bar, like near a part of it that looks like it would go up nicely, and have my bottle of whiskey, but have it replaced with like 100 proof or something crazy that's like burns really well, you know?
We'll say you have like the equivalent of Everclear.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
Nice.
It's fine Everclear because it says fine spirits and you flavor
It is so essentially it's high class moonshine. We got it.
Yep. You muted yourself again, Jamie.
Sorry. With that in mind, I have it on push talk.
Oh.
I will go ahead and kind of pull out a match and take a sip of it and act like which is gonna be terrible, but I'm gonna like kind of like like cough it onto the match a little bit, and then like pour it out onto pour a little out onto the building, and light this puppy up.
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
Let me roll finesse to do that.
Sure.
I am trying to do it discreetly.
Yep. I would say that it's probably still controlled, and you can have standard effect.
Leaving you, Jamie.
I will push myself again for this.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yep. So there is a
bongo. No more bar.
fire started. I am going to start a clock here. For the fire. On the coup sheet. And it is going to have 6 segments, and 2 of them are already going to be full from your complete success of starting the fire.
I'm gonna be on lookout. Essentially. Probably from where I get a good vantage point of like the people exiting the fire, like exiting the bar because of the fire. One, mostly to see if anyone is going after Biscuits to give him cover, or Jammy or Patches to give him cover as well, in case like someone notices them, tries to question them, that kind of stuff. Like that's sort of where I'm set up with my long rifle and spyglass.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead. And roll survey for me.
Heck yeah.
I wasn't planning to go too much further into
Mhm.
this at this
Okay.
point. But go ahead and how do I want to do this? Because I kind of don't want, like, this potentially affects Dr. Biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like him to be here for this.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I'll do my roll. Controls.
But make a note that that's what's going on.
Okay. What's the effect, my friend?
Give me just a second.
Dr. Biscuits is back, so.
Give me just another second.
Mhm.
I am back. Sorry about that.
I don't know how much further I want to get into any of this right at this moment. Is what I'm trying to figure out, because I kind of want there to be a stopping point. And if we get too much further into it, we're gonna be stuck, I think. So I would like to end on the fire being started and pick up in 2 weeks. If that's cool.
Okay. If, like, just the fire being started and then. So you're saying we're done? Like, successful mission?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, no. We're in the middle of the mission. We're going to start next session with the
Okay.
fire being started.
Oh, okay. Jamie, you're muted again.
Sorry. So part A, I think, was successful. I think we got to do part B next
Okay.
time.
All right.
is what
I
I'm
mean, we
hearing.
got
I think there's
45 minutes. Yeah.
Right, but it takes a good half an hour to do all of the experience and outros, and
Right. I mean,
we can go a little bit farther. That's fine.
it's up to you.
Um,
You're the GM, fam.
Yeah, if you feel like
Mhm.
you want to prepare something specific for this, then that is up to you. You know.
Right.
You want to wing it?
I would like to wait. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's fine.
I've had a long weekend.
All right. Not a problem.
And I'm at my maximum of coming up with stuff.
All right. That's not an issue, fam.
No apologies.
Yeah. Do we even have experience for this session, or you want to wait us to do experience next session?
I think we should do experience
Okay.
because it's coming down to the end.
All right.
Yes.
Who would like to go first?
I can go first since no one else said anything. Did I roll a desperate action? I did not. Did I can stress challenge with calculation or conspiracy? I would say yes, since I helped come up with a plan, and that's probably about it. I didn't really get into my drives or my heritage or my background, other than saying that I would probably be an interior designer if I wasn't tangled up in all this mess.
Nice.
But I'll take one for that, for sure.
Cool. Who would like to go next? Okay, Dr. Biscuits, go.
Rest a challenge with technical skill or mayhem.
Yes.
yeah, there's definitely some mayhem happening there. As far as beliefs, rise, heritage, or background, um,
I would say yes. You were concerned for everyone's health,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a doctor.
With the cigars, yeah, absolutely.
and started to do fights with trauma. No, don't really have any of those. So, not too much XP this time, but
Okay.
oh well.
We got to get desperate to get more XP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we rolled controls on this, so.
So we were dope. All right. What about Elia? What's Elia got for us?
Well, once my computer loads well because of what just happened a little bit ago.
Would you like me to go?
I can read you the questions otherwise.
Oh, it's up now.
Okay.
So yeah, I did one challenge with deception or influence. I do not believe I expressed my beliefs, drives, heritages, or backgrounds this session, so I think I only got one.
Sounds good to me.
As far as myself, I definitely addressed a challenge with tracking. I did the surveying thing for the so about the deed and whatnot, so I can definitely see myself counting there. And I would say at the beginning, going get cigars for my heritage, because as far as I understand, people get fancy cigars when babies happen. So I would argue that I have at least two. Cool beans. Boop, boop. What about like crew? Because I feel like we're in the middle of the mission.
I think we'll hold off.
Yeah.
Make any pertinent notes
Mm-hmm.
that you think of. Because this is kind of a twofold
Yeah.
thing still. Like,
The only
fire
thing
has to-
I can
Sorry.
argue, because we're only one away from crew advancement, the only thing I can argue is that we are contending with a challenge above our current station.
crew experience and rep for tier are two different things, which you would get at the end of the mission.
Okay.
I would say yes, this is above your pay grade. I would probably end up giving you that one, yes.
So that we can upgrade our...
But I don't know how you would do that in the middle of
Okay.
a
Then I'm
score,
not going to
right?
argue for it then. Alright, well, if that's the case, everyone, thank you so much for coming and showing up. It was a good time. For the rest of the week, you can expect us back here Wednesday night for some Revenge of the Gith, some D&D 5e, Thursday morning for the World of Ashenfell for more D&D 5e, and then Saturday afternoon, we will have some Dragon Age. If you're interested in getting involved with the channel and possibly getting on some games, we are currently accepting applications for a Monster Hearts game. That will take place at Pathfinder when Pathfinder is over. So go ahead and jump into Discord and get in on that and see if you possibly want to throw your hat in for our Monster Hearts campaign. We have a lot of applications actually, and once we hit a certain cap, the GM and I are gonna be like, all right, cool, this is it. We gotta pick from these people. So yeah. And with that, let's go the opposite directions. Everybody tell us who you are and where we can find you on the internet. If I just didn't freeze. Did I freeze or am I good? Alright, I'm good. Cool. Alright, so, Jason, go ahead.
Alright, well, I'm Jason. He's a kind of person. I hang around Twitter, but I mostly just retweet stuff. And hang around the Discord, where I probably talk too much. And otherwise, I mean, I'm not really into social media and that, so if you find me, good luck. Dr. Biscuit out.
Okay.
And Jamie.
You're muted.
Of course.
No longer. So I am Jamie, and I am on the Discord, and I'm very friendly. If you want to say hey to me, just reach out and say hey. That's the only way to really get in touch with me. So, at me. Cool.
Yeah, go at jams. Alright,
Grabbing.
Sahara?
So I'm Sahara. You can find me on the Discord, and yeah, if you ever want to talk to me, just hit me up.
Thanks.
Aren't you the one who's supposed to slide into DMs?
Cecilia sliding into our DMs, yo. Right, and of course, last but not least, our lovely storyteller, theater nerd.
Hi, my name's Theater Nerd. I don't have anything going on until next Monday when I play Call of Cthulhu over on Uncanny Adventures after like 6 weeks. I don't even know what my character's doing, what's happened to my character, because I missed a session and the GM had to cancel 2 sessions. So if you come and join us next week, you'll get to have all the surprises I do. It'll be fine. But you can find me on all the social medias at the username below me. Twitter is the main one. I'm starting a new project here when my 2 last stream games get done in a month. So the best place to find out about all of that would be on, I'll probably post it in the Discord, but on my Twitter is probably the best place.
Right, cool. Thank you, everyone. We will see you again Wednesday night. Everyone, bye.
Till the next arson.